Hi everyone, welcome back to Kat's Book Corner, where we talk about all things book and bookish. Now today, sorry this one's a little late again, but today I have a book haul. I have 2 little bags, and I have 7 books I'm going to talk about. 2 are completed duologies, so I have both of them because I am, kind of confident I'll like both of them, so I got both of them. And also they're both there, and it's easier to have them all complete, so I don't actually have to go searching for other things. So there is that. So yeah, I guess I'll get started. Alright, starting off with number 1. That's the second one. Here's the first one. The first book in the Cat and Mouse duet. And the second one is, I can talk about them both together, but it is the second one in the Cat and Mouse duet, which are Haunting and Hunting Adeline by H.G. Carlton. And I have an H.G. Carlton book on my TBR this month, and little spoilers for Does It Hurt. I was not a huge fan of that one, but I am excited because a lot of people, this is their favorite dark romance, and I have been, I love a good dark romance, so I'm looking for a good one. And I want to see if this author, is for me at all, because I didn't like the first one I read, but I want to try these ones, see if I like them. And I'm pretty confident I will, because I do like generally most of the dark romances that I've read. I like the comedic ones, such as Butcher and Blackbird or Lights Out. And I like the darker ones, which are God of Malice. What's another one that I read that was darker, Hooked, the darker ones. And Does It Hurt is a dark romance, just wasn't a huge fan of it. I will get into why I wasn't, I think next week when I go over my books I read in my wrap up for July. But yeah, so I got both of these, and I will read the back of Haunting because I'm not going to read the back of the second one because I don't want to spoil myself on what happens in the first one, but I will read the back of the first one. Okay. I've chased you across time and space, and you're never going to be able to get away. For Adeline Riley, moving back to Seattle was supposed to be the perfect fresh start. With her flourishing career as an author and the inheritance of her late grandmother's Gothic mansion, there is nothing to stand in her way. But Adeline isn't alone in Parsons Manor. It isn't the angry souls haunting the hallways of her childhood home that Adeline fears. It's the mysterious break-ins, Rose appearing and threatening messages that somehow sound more like eerie promises. Adeline has a stalker, yet she quickly discovers she's not the first person in her family to fall victim to a shadow in pursuit. Left behind are her great-grandmother's haunting journals detailing a story of her own phantom, and subsequently her brutal murder. Parsons Manor now holds more than just Adeline's memories. It houses a grim future that could lead to history repeating itself if she doesn't fall in love with her stalker first. So, obviously, this is a stalker romance. It is dark, so look up your trigger warnings. Actually, maybe I can read a couple of them if it's in a list that will give you a... So, also a playlist. Do I know any of the songs on this one? I don't think I do. Oh, I know Play With Fire. I know that one. Graphic violence, human trafficking, stalking, sexual situations, bunch of other ones. Yeah, so obviously check your triggers with any dark romance, because they literally give you a warning within this book. So if you don't like within the book, don't read it. I don't get why people hate on them if they just don't there's literally a content warning. If you don't like what's going to be in here, don't read it. Which is why I now don't get why people hate on dark romances. Like, we never, like, pretty much every single dark romance reader doesn't support these things in real life. They just read about them for their, like, own experiences, and they help with past traumas that some of them might have. Like, that's how they choose to cope with it. I like to read them because I like looking at something that I really don't know how to explain why I like reading them. I like reading them because they, like, kind of, in a weird way, help me be more aware of, like, my surroundings, to, like, make sure, like, I'm not being stalked. Like, weirdly, like, they kind of help me be more aware to my own situation. So, I really do, I like them. So, yeah, both of these ones, although I do like the covers. They are, I guess, kind of pretty. With, like, the skull and the flowers and stuff. I'm not going to read the back of this one, but I want to pick it up so I can show. Like, this one is the second one, which is hunting. It's got a crown, some roses. Those are pretty. And I think the second one, if I'm correct, is longer than the first. It's also, from what I know, because I haven't really, like, skimmed through both of them 100%. It is a dual POV. Like, you get Adeline, and I think the love interest's name is Zaid. So you get his POV as well. Trying to think. Anything else I want to talk about with these two? I don't know. I'm, like, excited for these because these are, like, give me one second, let me situate these. These are, like, a dark romance rite of passage. Literally every dark romance reader reads these at some point, and they either love them or hate them, and I want to see where, like, I fall on that. And these have been, like, on my list of books to buy for a while now. I think since I got into, like, dark romances, these have been on my list because these are, like, the ones you hear everyone talking about for better or for worse. So there is that. So I am really, really excited about both of these. Let's do a quick page count with the first one. 605 for the first one. And quick check in the second one. $678. So this one is like 70-ish pages longer than the first one. So they're both like around the same amount of pages. Obviously, the content will be very similar to each other, considering they're both in the series, and they're not going to drastically change content, I don't think. So there's that. Not really like much else to say. Like, I'm excited for these. These are like going on my list of books and will be added to my August TBR. So I might read these in August, or at least maybe I'll read one of them. Because, as you know, like, the way my TBRs work, I don't always, like, read books in quick succession of each other. Like, the book I'm reading right now, which is Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I read the first one 2 years ago, like, around Thanksgiving time, and I'm reading the second one, like, now. To be fair, I didn't have the second one until Christmas of this year. Well, last year. So, there's that. But even when I did have the complete series, like I've had the complete Natural series for like, I think 4 years at this point, and I literally started it 2 years ago with the first one. I read 2 that year, and I read the last 2 like months and months after. Like it was literally like, I think I started one in November. I read one in, I want to say February. I read the next one in May, and I read the last one in August. So like I separated them a lot, and that's not really like because I did it. It's because those are the books that I picked for that TBR that month. Well, my sister picked, but it's just I don't read books in like a succession. Like even with like series, I normally only have the first one until I buy the second one. But these were ones where I just bought both because I decided I would rather have both of these, considering I know one of them. I know the first one ends on like a major cliffhanger, so I got both. Okay, those are the first 2. And now I'm going to talk about the other series that I bought. I think this one is called the, what is this one called? I don't know what this series is called. But they are My Heart, no, Your Knife, My Heart, and My Blade, Your Back. And this is the first one. And I'll read the back of this one. Cameron Mortimer has a problem. He can't stop killing his partners. Officially labeled clinically insane, he's also one of the most lethal assets in the... Oh, it's called the Dark Forces series. That's what it's called, the Dark Forces series. Okay, back to that. I'll restart because I got sidetracked. Cameron Mortimer has a problem. He can't stop killing his partners. Officially labeled critically insane, he's also one of the most lethal assets in the Dark Forces, a brutal underground military operation built on obedience, survival, and silence. But an experimental drug has fractured his control, making him a liability. Whenever someone else is on the field as punishment, he's thrown back into the Undertrials, a merciless boot camp designed to break the weak and sharpen the ruthless. His one directive: don't kill the new girl. Emery Maves narrowly escapes a death sentence after her own brutal crimes, only to find herself forced into the same violent world assigned to Cameron. She's expected to survive the trials and her partner's unstable nature, but Emery quickly realizes there's more to Cameron than bloodlust and body counts. Beneath the madness lies a terrifying allure, a strange yet dangerous tenderness. As the trials push them to their limits, Emery must navigate the brutal demands of the Dark Forces, while resisting the pull of a man who could just as easily kill her as protect her, and Cameron must fight the one urge he's never been able to overcome. Their bond is intoxicating, chaotic, and born of violence, and if it doesn't destroy them both, it might just save them. Now, obviously, I'm not going to read the second one because I don't want to spoil myself, but, like, it sounds really interesting. And he kind of seems like a Bucky Barnes. Like, that's what it kind of seems like. It seems like a Bucky Barnes. And I love, like, a good, like, sort of mind control-ish mailman character. And, like, they have to fight for the control and, like, affection if someone helps. Like in the Vampire Diaries with Stefan and Elena after Klaus compels him. Or in Foul Lady Fortune, spoilers for the ending of that book, for Foul Lady Fortune after Orion is injected with the serum and he's able to overcome it slightly enough for Rosalind to get away. Like, that stuff is good. I really, really like that stuff. And also Bucky is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. So I am really excited for that. Let's see. There's also, like, character art. There's Cameron, and I'm assuming that's Emery on the other side. That's fun. There's also a playlist. Do I know any of these songs? I don't think so. So that'll be fun. Also, trigger warning for this, so look at your triggers. Maybe I'll read a couple from this. physical violence, morbid humor, explicit gore, death, explicit language, war trauma, PTSD, murder, mentally unwell characters, self-harm, substance abuse, plenty of others. But, like, obviously, always with, like, dark romance or darker books, certain trigger warnings, as I said for The Count and Mastua. But, like, yeah. Let's see. Anything else that's interesting? Also, Dual Plea of V with Emery and Cameron. The first book, I think, is actually pretty short. Yeah, it's only, like, 284 pages. So it's pretty short. The second one's a little bit longer. It is My Blade, Your Back. And I bought these two online. So this one came a bit better because it's got sprayed edges that I think are really pretty. It's purple and it's got knives and whatever that black thing is, which I don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to read the back of this one because I don't want to spoil myself. But yeah, maybe this one. It also has a picture. Right there. That one's fun. This one also has a playlist. Oh, I know a couple. I know Teeth. Yeah, that song. This one also has a trigger warning, so obviously watch that. And this one is 352, so almost 100 pages, but not quite. More than the last one. And also, it has a quote in the back, which says, "You're not allowed to love someone as monstrous as me." That's fun. So yeah, I'm excited for both of these. They both seem real fun. Like, you can totally tell the size difference. And this one's bent because I had to, like, shove it into my bag. It's not meant to be bent, so it's kind of annoying that it's a little bent, but yeah. So yeah, I've got both of these. And I don't really know about these, like, at all. Like, because the only reason I bought these is because normally when I buy something online, whether it's for someone or for myself, I like to just buy a book because, well, why not? So these two came together, so I bought them both. And it'll be fun. And I've only seen one other creator that I watch regularly actually read these ones. So, and they liked them. And normally our tastes of that person I watch, they align pretty well. Because they really like the Boys to Tommen series, or what other books that I read that I know that they've read, or the Natural series. They liked those ones, or the Zodiac Academy, which I'm kind of into. So we normally have some similar tastes. So, and I'm pretty sure I like them. Don't really have, like, much else to say. But I do hope I read these soon. Like, I'm looking really, really forward to these. More so than some of the other ones that I have. Like, I'm looking forward to this more than... What's another book that I have that I haven't read yet? Like, I'm looking more forward to this than, like, Mistborn or Shatter Me or... Gone Girl. Like, I'm looking forward to this series more because it more aligns with, like, what I've kind of been, like, craving reading right now. So I'm excited for that because I have been, like, really craving, like, this type of genre, which is, like, dystopian, dark romance sort of thing. Like, I kind of been craving that right now. And it's been a while since I've read a dystopian book, I think. I can't remember the last one I read. but I know it's been a while since I've read one of them. And I normally do love a good dark romance. I think Does It Hurt was the exception to the rule, because so far I've liked every other dark romance I've read, except that one. So I'm pretty confident that was probably just the exception to the rule. So yeah, Your Knife, My Heart, and My Blade Your Back are the other two that I bought that came together, which is the Cat and Mouse duet and the Dark Forces duet are like the two that I have both books of. So there is that, and then we will move on to the other books that I bought. First one is Victorian Psycho by Virginia Todd. And this one is very, very short. Like, it's, I think, like around 200 pages. Oh, 192. Like, this is very, very short. And I bought this because another creator that I watch that it does do books very often talked about this one, and I want to read it. And it's short, and it was cheap at the bookstore. Like, this one had like a discount on it, and like since they were doing a podcast episode on it, I decided I want to read it, so I will read it, then I will watch that episode. But let's read the inside. Virginia Falto's nope, that's about the author. Okay, here we go. Winifred Noddy arrives as Enzer House, prepared to play the perfect governess. She'll dutifully tutor her charges, Drizella and Andrew, tell them bedtime stories, and only joke about eating the children. But long, listless days spent within the estate's dreary confines come with the intimate knowledge of the preservations and pathetic preoccupations of the Pounds family. Mr. Pound can't keep his eyes off Winifred's chest, and Mrs. Pound takes sickly pleasure in punishing Winifred for her husband's wandering gaze. Compound with her disdain for the entitled Pounds children, Winifred finds herself struggling at every turn to sniffle the violent compulsions of her past. French tutoring and needlework are only one way to pass the time, as admiring the ugly portraits in the gallery and creeping across the moonlit walls. Patience. Winifred must have patience, for Christmas is coming, and she has a very special gifts planned for the dear souls of Enzer House, brimming with sardonic wit and culminating in a shocking conclusion. Victorian Psycho plunges readers into a chilling mind of an iconic new literary psychopath. So I am excited for that. It is told about Winifred being like a psycho and like wants to kill the people she's in charge of, like from what I've got from that. So that'll be fun, like to read about basically the bad guy from the entirety of the book. And I don't know if I've ever done that before. Yeah, dark romances, I guess. But like you're kind of putting on your suspension of disbelief that they're not the bad guys, because they're the hero in the story to the girl most of the time, because something will happen at the end, which will need the dark romance guy to save her. Like with God of Malice, something happens at the end to Glenn that Killian has to go and come and save her. So that sort of thing. And also, it kind of reminds me of that scene in the originals where Klaus is telling Elijah that we're not, we're monsters, we're like the most awful people in the world, but to my daughter, to Hope, we're the knights in shining armor. We're the heroes in her story. We're not the villains in hers. So, but this is like the perspective, we get the villain, because there won't be, I'm pretty sure there probably won't be that many redeeming qualities to the main character. Because if you want to write her as like a true psychopath, there shouldn't be many redeeming qualities, because that's not how it like works normally. So I'm excited for this, and I heard they might be making a movie about this. I'm not 100% sure. So if you guys know if they're making a movie about this, could you guys let me know in the comments, because I think they are. I'm just not 100% sure. But I got interested in it because of, as I said before, like a podcast that I watch normally is talking about this book, and it's short enough for me to be able to finish this in like probably less than a day. This probably won't take me more than a couple hours, because I can read like a 400-page book in a day. I can probably read this one in a day. So, and also it depends on the content, because Does It Hurt was like 400-ish, 430 pages, and it took me hours to get through that book. But if it's like something that I like truly enjoy, like The Mind F or like Binding or Binding 13, like I can get through those big books in like no time at all, because I truly do love the story. So I think it just is, if I'm engaged with the material, and even if I'm not, I should be able to finish this in a day. It should not take me that long. So I'm excited for this one. Next, we have All of Our Demise, which is by Amanda Fody and C.L. Herman. This is the second book in the All of Us Villains, which I think it's called, what is it called? The Villain series, I think it's called. And as you saw in my video last week, where I did my June wrap-up, I wasn't a huge fan of this book, of the first one. Like, I liked it, I did. I thought that a lot of the characters were interesting. One I just, like, absolutely hated, so I don't like to talk about that one. But the other ones, like, I really, truly did like. And I liked where the plot was going, and I liked where certain relationships between the characters was going. So I liked those. So some slight spoilers. I'm going to try not to spoil it so much to the All of Us Villains, the first one, because I wanted to read the back. So I'm going to read the back of this one, and I'm going to like talk about what I think this one will be about based on what I got from the first one. I feel like I should warn you, this is going to be absolutely brutal. That's a quote on the back by, like, I'm thinking from the book. For the first time in this ancient, blood-stained story, the tournament is breaking. The boundaries between the city of Elvernath and the arena have fallen. Reporters swarm the historic battlegrounds. A dead boy now lives again. A new champion has entered the fray, one who seeks to break the curse for good, no matter how many lives are sacrificed in the process. As the curse teeters closer and closer to collapse, the surviving champions each face a choice: dismantle the tournament piece by piece, or fight to the death, as the story was always intended. Long-held alliances will be severed, hearts will break, lives will end, because a tale as wicked as this one has never been destined for a happily ever after. Now, what we know going into this story: Alistair is dying because he got the kiss from Isabel. His brother's alive again, and they just murdered their family, which, wonderful, deserved. I don't know what he's gonna do. Gavin wants to win, to still earn back the credit that he thinks his family is owed, because no Grieve has ever won. But he's also kind of dying because of the way his magic was basically turned against him by, like, the guy who wrote the book and, like, wants all the magic for himself. That guy. Isabel is kind of in the in-between right now. She doesn't seem fully alive, and she doesn't seem fully dead, because Alistair cast a killing charm on her, but the spell that she had on her, the Roach's Embrace, seemed to bring her back in a weird way. And Bryony, who I don't care about, wants to break the curse with her ex-boyfriend, and Isabel seems to kind of be on her side a little bit. But they kind of left her with the bad guy in the shop. So I don't know where that's going to go. So I think Alistair is going to try and kill them all, which I'm not mad at, because if anyone deserves to have the magic, it is Alistair. And I know his family have always pretty much had it, but his family are awful people, and they're all dead, so he's the one who kind of, I think, deserves to have it, based on what he had to sacrifice, and most likely will probably have to give up if he doesn't win, which is his brother. So, and I kind of like the relationship Hendry and Alistair have, so I kind of want him to win, because he is my favorite. as long as Bryony doesn't get the magic in the end, I think I'm fine with the 3 winning. Because I just don't like her. I think she's selfish and annoying and thinks she always knows best when, like, she was all about this tournament until she realized, well, what if I can break it? Then I'll be even more popular and better than literally everyone else because I'm the one who broke the tournament. Like, I just don't like her. So that's where, like, my head is at right now. But it might change based on how long I wait to read it and based on if I have to skim through it again. Because I'm only remembering, like, off the cuff the ending and, like, little other details of that book because I'm reading other books right now. So I've kind of, like, I'm not thinking about it right now because I didn't really, like it that much. So I kind of forgot a lot of it. But we'll see because this one's, I think, longer. Yeah, it's definitely longer. Like, I think it's probably, yeah, it's like 468 pages, which is longer. But I am a little more excited for this one than the first one. I just didn't really like the first one that much, but I think I'll like this one a little bit better. And the last one, which I've heard good things about, is The Everlasting by Alex E. Haro. Okay, let's read the inside. Okay. A legend. Sir Una Everlasting was history's greatest hero, a lost girl who could draw a sword from the heartwood and become a legend. The knight's epic feats were rivaled only by her tragic fate. A sacrifice that saved a queen and built an empire. A lie. Centuries later, Owen Mallory has dedicated his life to Una Everlasting, abandoning a promised scholarly career to defend his country. He comes home from war broken and weary until he finds the reason to live again, the pages of a mystery book. A love story. Sent back in time, the historian's task is to ensure Sir Una meets her tragic fate, but instead Owen falls in love with the complex woman behind the legend. He doesn't know how to watch her die or how many times he's done it before. To rewrite Una's legend, they'll have to rewrite history itself. And it's got this pretty tree on the cover, as well as a map. You can't really see it that much, but it is a map. And I'm sure you noticed, it's got some pretty sprayed edges. And I was a little annoyed because they kind of stuck together, so I kind of had to unstick them. So I've already, like, looked through all this. And from what I got, it kind of reminds me of Merlin, with Arthur and Merlin. And I'm not going to say the ending, even though we all know that ending, which I don't think was deserved. And I much prefer a different ending. I'm not going to say it because my sister wants to watch the show. So I'm not going to say it, even though we all know what I'm talking about if you've seen the show. It kind of reminds me of what I think it would be like if Arthur rose again after, like, centuries have passed, except this backwards. Or what if, like, it's backwards, like, Merlin went, like, instead of going to present time, they're going to the past. Like, Merlin was like, yeah, I'm not making this mistake again. I'm going back in time and I'm fixing it. Like, that's what it kind of reminds me of, because I fully believe they were both attracted to each other at some point, because there's no way that they weren't. So I believe, like, they probably were attracted to each other. So I'm like, because I'm a Merthyr supporter. Like, a lot of the fan fictions that I read are Arthur and Merlin, because there's just so much that, like, makes so much more sense if they are literally together, because two sides of the same coin. Does that not sound like soulmates to you? I know you can have, like, a platonic soulmate and stuff, but, like, the way they act towards each other seems more like they're in love with each other. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. And I love Arthur and Merlin. Like, it's one of my favorite ships. Like, it's one of my favorites, because I watched Merlin when I was, I think, a senior in high school, maybe a junior, and I was like, yeah, that ending sucked. Like, literally. You could have fixed everything in one episode, but you ruined it in one episode. And what I found out, like, they aired that on Christmas. It's crazy. So I like to read fan fictions because they fix it and they put Arthur and Merlin together, which I think is deserved because it needs to happen. But getting back to this book, The Everlasting, it reminds me of that. So I'm really excited because it's medieval. I love a good medieval book. And it's short. It's only like, I think it's only, let's see, like 300-ish pages long. That's not that long. So I'm really excited for that. It's like medieval. It's got some like time travel-y stuff. It's like a forbidden romance with like a tragic destiny that they have to try and avoid, but also try and like meet, because if they don't meet it, then the entire world can come crumbling down. Because the whole goal is to make sure that this knight, Una, defends what she needs to defend, which in turn results in her death. So if she doesn't die, does that mean that she fails in saving the people that she was meant to save? So like they've got to like figure that out. So I am really, really excited for this one, like a lot. I think the order for my excitement is, I'm going to lower the camera a little bit so you can see all the books. I think the ones I'm most excited for are The Dark Forces and The Everlasting. And then The Cat and Mouse Duet, then Victorian Psycho, and then All of Our Demise. Because these two I'm just so excited for, because I like the plot that I have so far, and this one, as I said, it reminds me a lot of Arthurian stuff, which I love, the Knights of the Round Table and stuff, like not even just from Merlin, from like other stuff too. So I'm excited for that. And The Cat and Mouse, because it's a good dark romance. It's like the dark romance everyone reads, so I'm excited for that. And this one being told from the villain's perspective is fun. And then that one, because I didn't like the first one, but I'm excited for the second one. So those are all the books I got. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.